Man, it's been a literal pain trying to get this one out to you guys this week. So let's do this. My top 10 best and worst of 2023 coming right at you. Stick around. Yeah! What's going on, fellow den dwellers? Scott here in the movie den. Thanks for tuning in to the channel. Happy New Year's Eve. If you're going to celebrate responsibly. Have a designated driver if you decide to drink tonight. Be safe. Have fun. That's my PSA for today. So for the past week, I've been battling this massive toothache that's had me feeling like I've gone about 10 rounds with the heavyweight champion. I've had a bit of an infection that caused me to have a fever. That fever broke this morning, thank God. So I'm slowly starting to climb out of it, not where I want to be, but hopefully by tomorrow and a new day and a new year, I'll be a bright, new, shiny, happy person. As a 50-plus Gen Xer juggling homework and this channel, my cinematic adventures were kind of sporadic. I didn't get to see as much as I wanted to see this year. I still haven't seen all the films I wanted to see this year. So don't come at me, bro, if your favorite film is not on this list. Everybody's opinions are different, and that's the glory of films. Everything's subjective. What you may like, I may not like. What I may like, you may not like. We may agree, we may not disagree, but that's the beauty of film. We all see it through a different lens. We all experience it differently. We all get different feelings. So just bear with me. All right, guys, get right into the list. We're going to start with the best of 2023. And in at number 10 is Evil Dead Rise. This film unleashes a blood-soaked carnival of horror that's bound to leave even the most seasoned Evil Dead fan trembling with gory delight. If you're expecting the campy charm of the Bruce Campbell era, it's not for you guys, but buckle up because this is a demonic slasher that does not hold back on drenching the screen with blood. Bruce Campbell may have hung up his chainsaw, but fear not, his influence is felt throughout this ride. His hands-on involvement, along with Sam Raimi in the project, ensure that the Evil Dead spirit lives on, although in a new and refreshing. While some might yearn for the return of Ash, the truth is Campbell has gracefully passed the torch, and this film embraces that change with gusto. The Deadite moments, the possessed lines, they're all there, but delivered in a fresh and horrifying spin that honors the franchise's legacy, while also paving a way for a new generation of Evil Dead fans. Evil Dead Rise is a triumph addition to the franchise, dripping with gore, demonic mayhem, and a fresh take on the beloved horror series. Whether you're a seasoned Evil Dead devotee or a newcomer to the macabre delights, this film delivers a relentless and horrifying experience that will have you checking under your bed long after the credits roll. And Alyssa Sutherland's portrayal of the mother is intense, and across the board makes this installment a must-watch for horror enthusiasts, me included. Coming in at number 9, and don't hate on me, don't throw your spears at me, guys. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is a fitting and nostalgic addition to the beloved Indiana Jones franchise. And for fans like me who can watch Raiders of the Lost Ark on an endless loop, it's a welcome return to the world of Dr. Henry Jones. Despite the mixed reception and box office challenges, this film did prove to me to be a worthy entry. The film cleverly acknowledges the passage of time, portraying Indiana Jones as a more weathered and contemplative version. Harrison Ford's commitment to the role is evident, showcasing both the physical toll of his age and the enduring spirit of adventure that defines the character. The first 20 minutes in particular stand out as a highlight, providing a poignant and introspective glimpse into Jones's world. While some may have reservations about the film, and there's many out there that didn't like it, dismissing it as inferior to its predecessors or expressing disappointment with certain elements, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny does succeed in delivering an engaging storyline that keeps the audience invested. It did me. The movie navigates through various locations with admirable cinematography. The final scenes are particularly engrossing, tying up the narrative in a satisfying manner. The supporting cast contributes to the tension, with Mads Mikkelsen standing out as a formidable villain. Visual effects, including the de-aging of Harrison Ford in the flashback scene, are executed well, immersing the audience in the character's early years. While some may nitpick certain details, the overall presentation is commendable, maintaining the adventurous and cinematic quality that fans have come to expect from the franchise. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny may not surpass the glory of Raiders, but it does stand as a respectable and enjoyable installment in the Indiana Jones saga. Up at number 8 is Infinity Pool. I like a good original what the fuck movie. Stars Alexander Skarsgård and Mia Goth. This film is a roller coaster of bizarre delights, leaving audiences simultaneously disturbed, oddly enamored. From the outset, Infinity Pool presents itself as a film of hedonism, but don't be fooled, there's no genuine pleasure to be found here. Characters guzzle alcohol until someone or everyone is projectile vomit. And the sex scenes are so devoid of sensuality that you wonder if the characters are actually humans or robotic pleasure seekers. Gratuitous violence is sprinkled liberally throughout, serving no purpose other than to remind you that you're in for a ride that is brutal as it is bizarre. The exotic locale of Croatia seems almost wasted on the characters who appear oblivious to the breathtaking around them. It is as if they, too, are engrossed in their own twisted endeavors to appreciate the beauty of the world, adding another layer of the film's surreal atmosphere. Mia Goth emerges as the new screen queen of the century, and rightfully so. Her performance is a masterclass in portraying disturbed characters at a level of conviction that makes your skin crawl. She steals the entire film, and it's not hard to see why. Meanwhile, Alexander Skarsgård in the third act delivers a performance of taxi driver quality, adding a dose of gravitas to the madness unfolding on screen. Brandon Cronenberg, clearly influenced by his iconic David Cronenberg, proves that the apple doesn't fall far from the body horror tree. The film is clever, creative, and extremely visceral, pushing the boundaries of what cinema can achieve in terms of discomfort and intrigue. This cinematic fever dream is a crazy wild ride that manages to be disturbing, weird, exciting, and oddly beautiful at times. It's the kind of film that sticks to your mind like gum on a hot sidewalk. Infinity Pool is polarizing. You either love it for its audacity and uniqueness, or you hate it because it takes pleasure making you squirm in your seat. Regardless of where you stand, one thing is for sure, Brandon Cronenberg is getting scarily good at his job, and Infinity Pool is a testament to that fact. Up next at number 7 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. In a universe filled with cosmic chaos, James Gunn returns to the helm of the Guardians of the Galaxy ship, delivering a third installment that's not only an absolute triumph, but a testament to his unrivaled ability to blend heart, humor, and intergalactic awesomeness. First things up, let's talk about this raccoon called Rocket. He steals the spotlight in Volume 3, and boy, does he shine like a supernova. The decision to delve deep into Rocket's backstory was a stroke of genius. Who would have thought that a genetically enhanced trigger-happy raccoon could tug at our heartstrings so effectively? Rocket's journey is not just a wild ride through space, but an emotional roller coaster that explores the scars of his past, turning him from a wisecracking renegade into a character you can't help but root for. Banter, the camaraderie, and the sheer absurdity of their situation create a cocktail of hilarity that goes down smoother than a pint of blue alien goo. James Gunn's signature style permeates every frame of dazzling visuals, toe-tapping soundtrack, and the witty dialogue create a cinematic experience that's as visually stunning as it is audibly satisfying. And let's not forget the humor. Oh, the humor. The film is packed with Gunn's trademark wit, blending irreverent quips, genuine moments of emotion. It's like a roller coaster of laughter. While the first film will always hold a special place in my heart, Volume 3 confidently secures its spot as the next favorite in the franchise. It's a space opera that not only delivers on the spectacle, but also pulls at your heartstrings in unexpected ways. Up next at number 6 is the Super Mario Brothers movie. This animated movie took the box office by storm, earning over $1 billion worldwide, and it's not hard to see why. This film Feels like the beloved video game just jumped off the screen, powered up a mushroom, and slapped us right in the face with a burst of animated fun. Illumination Studios did an excellent job bringing the iconic Mario world to life, creating a visually stunning experience that captures the essence of the beloved Nintendo game. And the story, while somewhat basic, stays true to the Mario universe by focusing on the rescue of Mario's brother Luigi rather than the usual damsel in distress scenario with Princess Peach. While some might see this as a missed opportunity, as I did, the movie does compensate that with a incredibly visually looking film, well crafted animation, and an engaging pace that kept me hooked from start to finish. The voice cast was a mixed bag of talents, with Chris Pratt voicing Mario, and despite the initial skepticism surrounding that casting choice, I felt that Pratt delivered a surprisingly normal and relatable interpretation of the iconic character. Charlie Day's portrayal of Luigi is also a standout, bringing humor and heart to his character. Jack Black as Bowser is nothing short of genius, and Anya Taylor-Joy shines as a surprisingly good Princess Peach. The only negative thing about the casting I didn't care for, though, was Seth Rogen's take on Donkey Kong. Keegan-Michael Key as Toad is surprisingly good, and the inclusion of Charles Martinet, who was the original voice of Mario from the game, in supporting roles here, adds a nostalgic touch. Despite being a kids' movie, the Super Mario Bros. Animated movie doesn't skimp on quality. It maintains a simplicity that appeals to a broad audience, whether you're a seasoned gamer or just someone looking for a fun animated adventure. The film's fidelity to the source material is commendable, staying true to the world we all know and love. The only other gripe I had was Yoshi really didn't have much screen time, but even without an abundance of Yoshi, this movie successfully captures the essence of picking up a controller and pressing start. A nostalgic trip that feels exactly like revisiting the classic game, and for that reason alone, it's a must-watch for me, for fans, and newcomers alike. Up next at number 5 is Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Now, this film marks a triumphant return for Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt, delivering one of the best entries into the iconic franchise. The film is a roller coaster of action, suspense, and unexpected twists that kept me engaged throughout its entire 2.5-hour runtime. The movie diverges from its predecessors by introducing an entirely new set of adversaries, deviating from the anticipated continuation of the conflict with the Apostles. This decision, while surprising, injects a fresh element in the narrative. The absence of the familiar phase is compensated by the introduction of a formidable new antagonist, Gabriel, whose sinister intentions to reshape the world add a layer of complexity. One notable aspect that sets Dead Reckoning apart is its exploration of Ethan Hunt's past, unveiling a previously unknown nemesis. This revelation is both intriguing and unexpected, adding depth to Hunt's character while simultaneously challenging the established continuity of the series. It's a bold move that may initially disorient longtime fans. It did for me, but it does pay off by expanding the character's backstory and motivation. The film introduces a compelling new threat in the form of an AI entity named Entity, reflecting contemporary concerns about the dangers of artificial intelligence. The urgency surrounding the AI's potential dominance over the world forms the crux of the plot, cleverly incorporating real-world fears into the fictional narrative. The pacing of Dead Reckoning is masterfully executed, utilizing every minute to its full potential. The film embraces the art of the cliffhanger, leaving audiences eagerly anticipating Part 2. The decision to extend the runtime is justified by the efficient storytelling that avoids any dull or wasted moment. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 is a bold departure for the franchise, offering a fresh perspective on the dangers of AI and the geopolitical landscape. Up next at number 4 is The Menu. Prepare your taste buds and buckle up for a cinematic feast with The Menu. Starring Ray Fiennes, Nicholas Hoult, and Anya Taylor-Joy, this film takes you on a gastronomic journey where egos clash like titans in the culinary world and the result is a masterfully crafted satirical piece that leaves you both hungry and amused. Chef Slowit, played by the ever-talented Ralph Fiennes, embodies the persona of a mad genius, armed with both a spatula and a killer instinct. As he guides his diners through a menu that could easily double as a historical epic, you'll find yourself hanging on to his every word, much like the captive audience in the film. Elsa, the maitre d' and bouncer-in-chief, portrayed with eerily irresistible charm by Anya Taylor-Joy, adds an element of intrigue reminiscent of Gazelle from The King's. The ensemble of diners, each lured to the event for various reasons, forms a diverse and entertaining cast. Special mention goes to Nicholas Holt's character Tyler, a cook with grand aspirations and a penchant for pretension. The dynamics unfold in unexpected ways, especially with the introduction of Margot, played by Anna Taylor, a character paid to attend the event for reasons both humorous and heartwarming. The film doesn't just serve up sumptuous dishes, it dishes out witty and memorable dialogue that will linger in your mind long after the credits roll. Phrases like Mount B and Chef Slavsky's whispered wisdom add a layer of humor and sophistication to the narrative. The film cleverly explores the absurdity of the elite culinary world, poking fun at the self-indulgent culture of Michelin-starred establishments. As the evening unfolds, the menu takes unexpected turns, leaving the viewers riveted to their seats. The satirical commentary on the upper-class culture, Michelin-starred businesses, and the delicate dance between chefs and diners is both humorous and thought-provoking. The film's brilliance lies in its ability to simultaneously cater to foodies and critique the superficiality of the upper class. The juxtaposition of extravagant dishes and the return to basics in the end celebrate the simplicity of a double cheeseburger. Into the top three at number 3 is John Wick Chapter 4. As a fan of the John Wick series, I couldn't wait to delve into the latest installment. Let me tell you, it's a symphony of action, intrigue, and Keanu Reeves at his absolute best. John Wick Chapter 4 doesn't just raise the bar, it throws the bar out the window and smashes through it with relentless, heart-pounding action. The choreography is a dance of destruction and visual feast enthusiasts. From urban gunfights to bone-crushing hand-to-hand combat, the action sequences are a masterclass in cinematic adrenaline. This installment peels back the curtain on the shadowy world of the Assassin's societies, providing a deeper dive into the rules of the Continental and the complexities of Wick's universe. It's like unwrapping a gift, revealing layers of intrigue and leaving me hungry for more. Keanu Reeves isn't just John Wick, he's the beating heart of this franchise, and once again he brings an unparalleled stoic charisma to the character. Reeves' dedication to the physical demands of the role is awe-inspiring, and he remains the driving force behind the series' success, I believe. The ensemble cast is a delightful mix of familiar faces and fresh talent. Ian McShane and Lawrence Fishburne bring gravitas to their roles, while newcomers like Rina Sawama and Donnie Yen inject new energy. Cinematographically, John Wick is a visual feast, many things to see here. The intricate set designs and the use of international locations elevate the film's visual appeal. Every frame is a work of art, and the stylish beauty of the action sequence captured with finesse. And at number 2 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, swinging into the cinematic landscape with a revolutionary animation style that redefines the superhero animated genre. A blend of traditional comic book aesthetics with the dynamic anime-like fluidity is nothing short of a visual marvel. Every frame is a stunning work of art. The vivid colors, innovative split screens, seamless integration of different animation styles, it all captivated me. The film masterfully weaves together multiple Spider-Men, swinging through Spider-Verses, creating an epic yet intimate tapestry. The balance between humor, heart, and action is impeccable, ensuring a compelling watch for both long-term fans and newcomers to the Spider-Verse. This movie, like its predecessor, demands multiple viewings to fully appreciate its depth. Beyond Easter eggs, the attention to detail such as changing animation styles with different emotions adds a layer of sophistication that invites viewers to discover something new with each watch. In traversing time, space, and dimension, the film presents the quantum universe or multiverse in a visually stunning and diverse manner. Spider characters as are as different as chalk and cheese, make this journey a captivating exploration of the Spider-Verse. Special mention goes to Hobie Brown, a standout character that adds another layer of intrigue to an already complex and fascinating narrative. And at number one is the one I almost didn't get to see, and that is Oppenheimer. Christopher Nolan's film delivers a riveting historical biopic that explores the complex ethical and moral dilemmas surrounding the creation of the first atomic bomb. Cillian Murphy's brilliant performance as J. Robert Oppenheimer anchors the film, providing a nuanced portrayal of the eccentric genius at the forefront of one of the most pivotal moments in human history. The film, admittedly a little slow-paced, compensates with an immersive narrative that delves into the intricate thought process that led to the development of the atomic. It meticulously unravels the physiological impact on those involved, exposing the wretched and deceptive politics that often operated up behind the scenes, hidden from the very individuals creating this groundbreaking. Cillian Murphy's performance as Oppenheimer is nothing short of phenomenal. His ability to convey the thrill, fear, and misgivings surrounding the development of the bomb is a testament to acting prowess. The supporting cast featured an incredibly talented of minor characters, including Matthew Modine, Rami Malek, Lawrence Pugh, Josh Hartnett, Casey Affleck, Matt Damon. Special mention does go to Robert Downey Jr. in his shifty portrayal of Louis Strauss and Emily Blunt's portrayal of Kitty Oppenheimer is suffering yet strong. Christopher Nolan once again proves his directorial brilliance, crafting a movie that's not only capturing the historical accuracy of the atomic, but also engages the audience on an intellectual and emotional. The slow pacing, while a potential drawback for some viewers, allows for a deep exploration of the moral complexity around the bomb's creation and its eventual use. This film masterfully navigates Oppenheimer's journey, presenting him as a hero and a villain in the moral quandary of creating a weapon with such devastating consequences. The cinematography is stunning. The script is great. I didn't know much about this. I knew who he was. I know he created the bomb, but this movie blew my mind. All right, guys, getting into the bottom of the list, the worst of 2020. While these are the worst films for me this year, some of these I did find some enjoyment in. Not all of them, but some of these that I did find things I did like. Up first at number 10 is Rebel Moon, Part 1, A Child of Fire. This is Zack Snyder's long-anticipated space opera. Unfortunately, it falls short of the astronomical expectations set by its visually stunning backdrop and its promising concept. While the film boasts impressive world building and visually arresting landscapes, it ultimately crumbles under the weight of its derivative storyline and lackluster execution. The visual spectacle is undeniably striking, with meticulously crafted settings ranging from Argarian communes on distant moons to gold cobalt mining planets, gritty desert outposts, and lunar dive bars. Straight out of Star Wars. Cantina. Dun, 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 dun. Anyways, don't do that. The cinematography captures the grandeur of the universe, and the fight sequences, while decent, suffer from Zack Snyder's over-reliance on self-important slow-motion shots that become so repetitive it caused me to give a headache. Took me out of the film. This movie is like over 2 hours long. It easily could have been an hour. But the true disappointment lies in the narrative, a messy collage of borrowed plot points from superior films, hastily glued together with mind-numbing execution. The story feels like a patchwork quilt of sci-fi cliches, lacking the originality and depth needed to engage its audience. This was originally conceived as a Star Wars story, and it's evident why Lucasfilm rejected Snyder's pitch for part. The script, dialogue, and line delivery failed to elevate, leaving viewers with a sense of missed potential and unfulfilled promises. Up next at number 9 is 65, starring the talented Adam Driver. This is a cinematic roller coaster that leaves viewers wondering if they accidentally stumbled upon a B-movie from the 90s rather than a modern sci-fi film. Despite the promising presence of Driver and the unexpected talent of Ariana Greenblatt, the film falters on a nearly every front, from a cringe-worthy script to its lackluster special effects. I've seen worse, but anyways, let's start with the script. cringeworthy concoction of cheesy dialogue, implausible scenarios that could only be justified by a fondness for outdated sci-fi tropes. Stranded on Earth 65 million years ago, the characters find themselves facing the impending doom of the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs. However, the timing is so absurdly precise that it makes even the most forgiving sci-fi enthusiasts roll their eyes. The tension-building moments are cut short, leaving viewers anticipating action sequences that never materialize. Adam Driver, an actor of commendable talent, is wasted on a plot that fails to do justice to his abilities. Despite the potential for a gripping narrative, 65 squanders every opportunity, turning what should have been a visually sci-fi adventure into a lackluster disappointment. This film falls into the unfortunate category of films that fail to live up to their potential. Then at number 8 is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp takes a nosedive into the abyss of cinematic lameness, proving that even superheroes can't escape the gravitational pull of a poorly written script. And it seems the formula for success, according to superhero movie producers, is more sarcasm and kids making fun of their parents equals more money. Well, it might work for ticket sales, but cinematically, it's a cringe-worthy disaster. Instead of the carefully crafted script and thoughtful plot we hope for, we get a plot that seems to have been thrown together during a coffee break. It's like they drew plot points out of a hat and said, let's roll with it. The result is the dumbest, poorly thought out plot in the entire Marvel series. The plot so convoluted that even the characters seem confused, stumbling with lame dialogue and annoying interactions that make you wish for the sweet release of the end credits. The director, whose name shall not be remembered in the cinematic greatness, leads the film down a path of uselessness, as if they were attempting to break new ground in the world of mediocrity. The CGI overload feels like someone discovered the special effects button and couldn't resist the temptation to push it repeatedly. It's a visual assault that leaves you questioning if the goal was to tell a story or induce a headache. While it might not be the absolute worst Marvel movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is certainly not that good. It's as if everyone involved in the production got a bit too ambitious, lost their way, and ended up with a film that feels like a parody. It's not a hero we deserve, but it's the one we got. Bumbling, sarcastic mess. Alright, in at number 7 is Shazam, Fury of the Gods. This is a roller coaster of gods, kids, and unnecessary shenanigans. The movie stars Zachary Levi reprising his role as the superhero who is basically a man-child. And when I say man-child, I mean it. The adult actors seem to have attended a masterclass on how to overplay being a kid 101, while the younger actors surprisingly keep things fairly grounded. The film takes an unexpected turn with its adult humor and graphic language. Sure, a little edge can be fun, but some moments are so cringy that you wonder if the writers misunderstood the target audience. It's like they decided to inject the script with a dose of teenage rebellion, and it feels out of place in a movie that's supposed to be about a superhero with magical powers. Shazam: Fury of the Gods suffers from an identity crisis, drowning in subplots that divert attention from the main story. Halfway through, you might find yourself checking your watch, wondering when the credits mercifully start rolling for you. The main villains have a perplexing agenda. They succeed in their mission to fix their world, but decide to stick around for some petty revenge on the human world. Why? Who knows? It's a classic case of we won, but let's stick around and be villains just for the heck of it. The acronym Shazam, which represents each god's powers, feels like a half-baked idea. Everyone has everyone else's powers, rendering the uniqueness of each character's abilities. Boop! The supposed need for teamwork among the superheroes falls flat when they all essentially have the same set of powers. The movie struggles with the protagonist's age inconsistency. Billy Batson is now 18, yet he continues with his kid-like antics. It's like the writers couldn't decide whether to let him grow up or keep him stuck in perpetual adolescence. Maybe Shazam stands for, seriously, how are zealots agitating maturity? The repetitive nature of certain scenes gives the impression that the writers couldn't agree on the direction of the story, so they decided to include everything. Close-ups of various characters' faces become a cinematic Groundhog Day, leaving the audiences in need for some serious editing magic. Fury of the Gods is a movie that had the potential to soar, but got weighed down by too many conflicting ideas. Mirren and Lou shine in a sea of confusion. Despite the sequel's best efforts, it falls short of capturing the charm of its predecessor. A classic case of too many cooks spoiling the superhero broth. Up next at number 6 is Transformers Rise of the Beasts. As someone who grew up watching the Transformers cartoon, I walked into Transformers Rise of the Beast with a star in my eye, hoping for a nostalgic journey back to the epic 90s. Set in the 90s, this film had a golden opportunity to shower us with nostalgic callbacks, but instead it sprinkled a few 90s tunes and called it a day. The potential for electronic gotchas and other era-specific delights felt a little wasted, leaving me yearning for more than just a token nod to the decade of flannel shirts and dial-up internet. Well, the script, or lack thereof, is really the elephant in the room. Or should I say the transformer in the room. Yes, it's a Transformers movie, but this installment takes this cake for the flimsiest script and the most shameless toy placement. Transformers are toys, but did the script have to feel like an afterthought? One character asked, "Where's the accent from?" To which another character says, "They're robots." Now, call me Cybertron illiterate, but if you have robots that can transform into vehicles and speak multiple languages, wouldn't they do so with native perfection? Transformers are on autopilot. It's the same old routine of get the thing and save the humans. It's a tired formula, and while the explosions and robot battles are all fine and entertaining, they don't do much to elevate the overall experience. Even Optimus Prime seems to be stuck in a loop of getting his metallic ass kicked. The human characters are disappointingly one-dimensional, as if the writers handed the actors a checklist of cliched traits and called it a day. Kind-hearted male lead and smart female lead do not make a compelling character. Mirage, he steals the show as the most interesting character, leaving human actors twiddling their thumbs. For fans, Rise of the Beast may be the worst of the best, a lukewarm addition to the Transformers saga. If you're not a fan, well, it gets the participation award for attempting to capitalize on the franchise's glory days. But in the end, it's a turn-your-brain-off spectacle of fighting robots, but it falls short of the highs reached by the first Transformers movie or the refreshing breath of the Bumblebee. In at number 5 is probably one of the top 5 of my most anticipated films of 2023. And that's The Flash. Buckle up, folks, because The Flash delivers a wild ride. Time, space, and the ever-convoluted multiverse, sprinkled with a dash of Ezra Miller's off-screen legal troubles. The movie kicks off with Batfleck making a comeback in an extended cameo, proving that even the Dark Knight can't resist the pull of the Speed Force. Michael Keaton returns as the OG Batman, and Sasha Calle shines as Supergirl, proving that the DCU can still soar even as it faces pending doom. From the get-go, the film seemed doomed, much like the Flash trying to outrun his legal entanglement. However, against all odds, it manages to be surprisingly fun, which was a sentiment shared even by my wife, who never thought she'd sit through a Flash movie. The plot, typical of a Flash movie, zips around faster than Barry Allen himself. While the goofy running style remains a head-scratcher, the standout moments belong to Batman, especially Michael Keaton's triumphant return, and Supergirl deserved more screen time than she got. Let's address the story. It sucks. There, I said it. The plot feels like it was put together in a rush, trying to juggle too many multiverse elements. The comedic moments intended to lighten the mood often fall as flat as a pancake. In a universe where Aquaman rides seahorses and Wonder Woman lassos lightning, this movie's CGI is a big letdown. It's the equivalent of having a Justice League meeting in a budget-friendly green screen studio. But despite its flaws, The Flash offers a nostalgic trip with the return of Keaton and the multiverse convergence scene at the end, where CGI versions of DC heroes from throughout history make their cameo. Goosebumps? Check. But that's about all I liked. The film feels like it's dragged on while rushing to fit too much into its total runtime. Hey, directors, when you have a beloved story already written in comic books, do the fans justice and stick to it. We know you have to change things, but stick to the source material. Up next at number 4 is Fast X, and this is the latest installment in the Are We Still Doing This saga. It's a masterclass in defying the laws of physics, logic, and good taste in Hollywood filmmaking. And if you thought Fast 9 was a stretch, buckle up because Fast X is a step into the absurd. From the get-go, it's clear that this movie is a mere shell of its former high-octane glory. The plot feels like it was written on the back of a napkin during a coffee break, and the filmmakers seem to have mistaken compelling storytelling for let's throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. This is not a complete movie, it's a half movie, leaving us hanging on the edge of whether Vin Diesel and his son will meet a fiery demise if the dam decides to throw a tantrum. Now, without diving into the details, mainly because there are none worth diving into, Fast X is a hot mess. Letty's attempt at a motorcycle gymnastics routine over debris left me wondering if I accidentally walked into a circus instead of an action movie. Were we supposed to laugh, cry, question the laws of physics? I don't know. The film is drowning in jump the shark scenes that for some reason the creators think are amazing. I, on the other hand, found them so laughable that I wondered if I accidentally stumbled into a comedy. As for Honor Brian, well, setting him up as the house husband is a move that feels more like a slap in the face to fans than a heartfelt tribute. It's like saying, hey, remember that guy who risked his life in high-speed chases and skydiving cars? Yeah, he's now a stay-at-home dad. What the fuck? Fast X feels like the franchise's attempt to outdo itself in absurdity. With each installment, it descends further into the abyss of over-the-top stunts and questionable plot decisions. It's a series that's gone from zero to ludicrous speed in all the wrong ways. So why do we keep watching? Well, maybe for the sheer joy of witnessing how much further they can stretch the limits of credibility. In fact, the Fast and Furious universe, the logic is a distant memory, and we're all just along for the ride. All right, into the bottom three. At number 3 is SLO House. This film attempts to ride the wave of PG-13 horror comedy, but this just sucked. At one point, I found myself praying for the end credits, wondering how a movie with a $20 million budget could feel more like a high school drama project gone terribly wrong. The dialogue is so cringeworthy that I considered launching a Kickstarter campaign to fund therapy sessions for everyone subjected to this awful film. The story is plotted as mediocre as a gas station hot dog, and we couldn't believe the movie hadn't thrown in the towel and opted for a short film format. $20 million budget must have gone into some seriously top-notch camera equipment, lighting, and a color grader who deserves a medal for trying to polish this turd of a script. Satire is the name of the game, with over-the-top characters and campy scenes, but it falls flat. The characters aren't funny, the writing is terrible, and the movie is just really bad. The execution was about as successful as a cat trying to herd sheep. I love a good bad film, but this was not one of them. A killer sloth could have been intriguing, but not when it's operating a phone, driving a car, Snapchatting, whatever, wielding a katana. I felt my brain cells dying. Up next at number 2 is Exorcist Believer. Grab your holy water and crucifix because The Exorcist Believer is here to possess your time. It's directed by David Gordon Green and it's aimed to resurrect the horror of the original 1973 classic. Unfortunately, it's more of a horror for all the wrong reasons. Now let's start with the screenplay. It was co-written by David Gordon Green with Peter Sattler, Scott Teems, and Danny McBride. It's like they gathered around a cauldron and threw in every horror cliche that resulted in a cinematic concoction that should have been burnt to ashes before seeing the light of day. The plot revolves around a photographer played by Leslie Odom Jr. who must channel his inner Ghostbuster when his daughter and her best friend gets unwelcome spiritual makeover. Now, I get it, possession is a timeless horror theme, but this film manages to make it feel like a carnival sight. The exorcism scenes are more likely to make you giggle than gasp in terror. The film's attempt at horror is as subtle as a sledgehammer. It fails to maintain any semblance of tension or suspense. It's just another forgettable addition to the heap of lackluster horror films from the past decade. The marketing hyped up the possession of two girls, but the story inexplicably decides to focus more on one. Not even that focus is particularly strong. And don't even get me started on the misuse of the iconic score. Not that it would change my feelings any, but changing it around is like playing Stairway to Heaven with a kazoo. It's a crime against classic horror. Only giving us the score in its true form at the end, it was a big wasted opportunity. Shane. The Exorcist Believer is a horror show, not in the intended sense, but in the sense that it's disappointing, cringeworthy. It'll make me question my faith in all. Blumhouse, please, for the love of all that is holy, stick to making original. Exorcist Believer should have just been called Believer because it didn't feel like an Exorcist sequel, even with the cameos. This remake should be exorcised from existence. Forget about the $400 million you spent on the rights. It's lost. All right. The worst film of 2023 is Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Man, fuck this piece of fucking stupid bullshit movie. I hated it. That's why it's number one. I wasted more time than I wanted. Want a little bit of more of a review? I did it on my 31 Flavors of a Halloween video. If you really want to know what I kind of thought, head over there, check it out, because it does not deserve any hype. Well, that's it for my top 10 best and worst of 2023. I pushed through, I persevered, I delivered, although a little less faceless. Guys, what did you see this year? What did you like? What didn't you like? Hit me up in the comments below. If you're returning, welcome back. If you're new here, like always, please subscribe. Like the video, hit that notification bell on the way out to receive future notifications. Guys, it's been a pleasure. It's been an ordeal this week, but I did it. Guys, what say you? I'll see you on the next. Good night.